That's a witch's leg.
It's a witch's leg.
I gotta tell you, she had a really, really long foot. She was a large woman. I mean, look at the size of the calf on that. She had some cankles.
Hi.
Hi.
We're Susanna and Chris from Hinton the Trail, and we wanted to welcome you back to our channel. We are going to talk about Maine. The state of Maine, not Main Street. The state of Maine.
Yeah, so Maine is vacationland. I think everybody knows that.
Where I'm from.
Yeah, so she's got some inside info. But today we're going to give you 10 places, sites, locations, and things to do in Maine so that you can enjoy your next vacation to Maine. We say Maine a lot. Maine, Maine,
Yeah.
Maine.
And these places aren't in any particular order. They're just things that we really enjoyed. We kind of clumped them together by types, you know, museums and, you know, outdoor activities, whatnot. So
There is an order, sort of, for the first one. Because you can't go to Maine without.
going to Acadia National Park. Located on Mount Desert Island, Acadia National Park encompasses 47,000 acres of what you envision Maine to be. Beautiful coastlines, mountains, ocean, everything. It's just beautiful.
So if you're going to Maine, this is the one place you have to go. All right, so let's talk carriage roads.
There's 45 miles of carriage roads that were a gift from John D. Rockefeller Jr. and his family.
So the roads weave around the mountains and the valleys of the park. And today, the roads are used for pedestrians, just for taking hikes and walks, for bicyclists, and of course, horses and carriages.
Look at that. That would have been a nice way to do this little trail.
Yeah. So if you have the time and a bike, this is a great way to take in some of the beauty of Acadia National Park. There are a lot of hills though, so expect to get some exercise.
Go ahead, I'm waiting for the little man.
Oh, I got my legs are on fire.
And watch out for that horse manure. So if you're really short on time, you can take the 27-mile Park Loop Road. It will give you access to great locations like Otter Point, Sand Beach, and the Thunder Hole.
And if the weather is good, make the drive to the top of Cadillac Mountain as well. We did not have very good weather for the drive.
Not that the weather was bad, it was just, if it's foggy, you can't see anything.
There's no visibility. The Cadillac Mountain is where the first sunrise in the US happens every morning. We just didn't get to see it. And that was Cadillac Mountain.
So Thunder Hole is a naturally carved inlet that the waves crash into, aptly named because it sounds like thunder when the waves crash into it, if it's a certain size wave. At the end of the inlet there's a cave, and when the waves rush in, the sound of the water and the air being forced out of the cave creates a sound like thunder.
Whoa,
Best time to see this is when the tide is coming in. There we go. Got it.
Oh, it's even better. See? No, you gotta keep holding it. Keep smiling. Just kidding. All right, so if you're like me, then this next section is gonna be right up your alley. This is all about history. I love history.
Maine history. The first one is the Maine Maritime Museum. Maine is a seashore state, and its roots in the maritime industry run very, very deep. The Maine Maritime Museum in Bath, Maine is an amazing location to learn about the state's rich maritime history. The The 20-acre facility sits on the Kennebec River, just down from Bath Iron Works.
The facility houses art and historical exhibits, includes the country's only surviving shipyard where wooden vessels were once made. It also has a sculpture of the largest wooden vessel ever built in North America, and so much more.
There's a working boat shop, beautifully maintained boats, and a building dedicated to Maine's lobster industry.
Lobster.
Lobster.
This is a great place to launch your love of Maine. The second museum, and again, these aren't in any order.
They're not in any order of, which one we liked best or anything like that. They're just in the order that we put them in.
Yeah.
It's the right order. Just kidding.
Do it our way, no other way. It's the Hinton way. Anyway, so the next stop is the Seashore Trolley Museum.
It's located in Kennebunkport, Maine, and is the world's first and largest electric train museum. Prices are $12 for adults and $9.50 for children.
So this museum houses vehicles from nearly every major city in the U.S. and from cities from around the world.
There are 3 car houses filled with beautifully restored trolleys and other artifacts.
This is from New Zealand.
Oh, this one's old.
Yeah, the Dunedin from New Zealand.
You can tell this one's really old.
Sure is.
There are also historic buildings from around the U.S. And no trip would be complete without taking a ride on one of their trolleys.
Whoa! She's got some kick. How does that go again?
Clang, clang, clang goes the trolley. Ding, ding, ding goes the trolley.
And we're here.
Okay, so our next recommendation is another transportation museum. And this one is called Owl's Head Transportation Museum. It's in Owl's Head, Maine.
So tickets for a self-guided tour run from $0 to $14 depending on your age group.
There are over 150 aircraft, boats, cars, motorcycles, and more in the museum, and nearly all of them are operational. And on any given day, you may hear the hum or roar of engines or see them in motion.
And normally, during non-COVID times, there are tons of air shows, car shows, and more at the museum, so make sure you check their event calendar before planning your trip. So our last one, we combined 2 different places because really it's one parking lot but 2 different stops.
It's a twofer.
Yep. So the Penobscot Narrows Bridge in Fort Knox. Not the one with the gold. This is the other one.
But they're both named after the same guy.
They are, in fact. The Penobscot Bay Bridge is 2,120 feet in length and connects the towns of Prospect and Verona, Maine.
Where are we, Matt?
A tower bridge.
What's it called?
Piscaska. I don't know.
Piscavaga. Let's try this again. Hey, Matt, where are we?
Penobscot Narrows Observatory.
I have no idea.
Corbin, if we were looking for the world's tallest tower bridge, where would we go?
I have no idea. I don't know what this place is called.
It's called the Penobscot
I can't work with
Narrows
this.
Observatory.
Okay. Matt,
Here's the history.
if we were looking for the world's tallest tower bridge, where would we go?
here in Maine.
This is what I work with.
Is it fox?
This is the
pearl?
talent that I have.
What if we were looking for the first one in the United States?
I would probably go somewhere around Penobscot, maybe Bucksport, Maine.
Prices for access to the observatory and the fort combined run between $5 and $9 per person. And again, all this depends on your age group.
At 447 feet tall, the Penobscot Narrows Bridge is the tallest public bridge observatory in the world.
Of course, you don't have to wear your mask. Let's do.
Okay, thank you.
Say we don't?
Not if we're alone up there.
Let's do.
The 360-degree views of the Penobscot River and the bays and the surrounding areas are amazing. And they overlook the second part of this twofer, Old Fort Knox.
So historic Fort Knox was established in 1844 and took 25 years for construction to be completed.
It was built at this location on the Penobscot Bay to protect it from the British naval incursions. Oh, and this is the first fort named after Major General Henry Knox, the country's first Secretary of War. So this beautiful fort was the first one in Maine built completely of granite, all of which came from nearby quarries. We're going to give you a very fast tour of this cool site, but make sure you plan on spending a few hours.
Where are we? What's the name of this fort?
Fort Knox.
Huh.
Troops were only stationed here from 1863 to 1866 and then again in 1898. And that's it. So they spent 25 years building it and they only stayed there for about 4 years. The main fort housed 64 cannons and the surrounding batteries held many more.
The federal government put this 125-acre site up for sale in 1923, and the state of Maine bought it for $2,121. 20 years later, it became a state historic site.
The fort itself is open from 1 May to 31 October, but the grounds are open year-round.
It's amazing how thick these walls are.
So this next section is going to be about nature, walking in nature. We've got a couple of places that we went just because they were nearby where my parents live and where we were staying.
And they turn out to be awesome, so
Yes.
we're recommending them to you.
The first one is Vaughan Woods. The 197-acre Vaughan Woods are attached to the Vaughan homestead, which was settled in 1794 and housed 7 generations of the family. The trail is 3 miles of carriage roads, footpaths, and stone arch bridges. The beauty of the location has led to the locals naming it Hobbiton.
The streams and waterfalls are great for photographers or folks just wanting to sit by a beautiful place and relax.
You may still hear the sounds of cars driving by when you're in the woods, but it's still a wonderful place to escape to Mother Nature.
Hundreds of people walk the trails every day, and it's free.
So Vile's Arboretum is located in Augusta, the capital of Maine. This 224-acre botanical gardens offers 6 miles of trails broken up into 2 main loops and a system of connector trails. There are many different kiosks located throughout the Arboretum that give you the history of the area or talk about the plant life growing in a certain zone. You can walk around for hours visiting the different areas.
Or maybe just find a place to sit down and take it all in.
And take lots of photos. Maybe one of your pictures will win their annual photo contest like ours did. Yes, we're kind of famous.
So you're in Maine, you've done Acadia, you've done some nature walks, you've learned a little bit about Maine history, but what about the Maine wildlife?
So we've got you covered there too. We recommend that you spend a day exploring the Maine Wildlife Park in Great Maine.
The park is part of the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, and as of 1999 is self-sufficient and relies solely on ticket revenues, donations, and grants.
The 30 species of animals housed here are native to Maine and cannot be released back into the wild. They were all either orphaned, injured, or became human dependent. The park also has numerous gardens that are all maintained by volunteers.
But you came for the wildlife, right? And they have some pretty cool ones, including multiple white and albino animals.
Look at him go. Are you gonna hang upside down? Oh. It's using its mouth. There we go. Wow.
Can I get a nice picture? Will you pose?
He's happy.
Will you pose?
Just like that, thank you.
He probably jumped out at people and attacked them.
Hey, go ask your friend to come out. Oh, there he goes.
And if you came to Maine to see a moose, then this is the place.
So Susanna, you're from Maine and you've never seen a moose?
That's not what I said. I haven't seen one in a long time.
Oh. Corbin,
Huge.
aren't they big?
Yeah.
I think that's a spot. It's pretty worn down.
Oh. Staring at me.
The park also houses a small museum where you can learn the history of the Maine Warden Service. If you enjoy the show Northwoods Law, like Chris does, then this museum's right up your alley.
It's pronounced Northwoods Law.
Okay, well, I don't have a Maine accent, so I can't do that.
In fact, this park has something for everyone. It's an awesome way to spend the day and take in some of the cool creatures that call Maine home.
One of my favorite things to do is go to the movies. And since COVID began, it's been kind of, well, it doesn't happen unless you go to a drive-in.
Drive-ins are awesome.
They are. So this next one isn't so much as a Maine thing, it's just something that we really think is cool. And if you visit Maine in the summer, you need to do this.
Go to a drive-in movie. Maine actually has 7 of them to choose from.
Drive-ins are a part of American culture and is something that everyone in the family needs to experience.
Visiting the snack bar.
Watching a movie in the great outdoors. It's all possible even during a pandemic.
Just make sure to bring alternate entertainment in case one of the movies is a little too scary for your kids. All right, so we've given you a lot of recommendations on places to go, but Maine, just like every other state, has a lot of roadside oddities and little places to stop and see. So we're gonna give you 2 places to go.
That will add a little extra oomph to your driving. The first is Perry's Nut House in Belfast on the coastal road to Acadia National Park. This Maine institution was started by I.L. Perry in 1927 when he began selling pecans and other assorted nuts. Over the years, he added curios and museum pieces to the store.
The store underwent many changes in ownership over the years, and most of the curios were auctioned off in 1997. But some are still there, and it's a neat stop. And a great place to get some delicious fudge.
The fudge was awesome. Our last recommendation is definitely a roadside oddity. If you watched our season 4 premiere, Chris said there might be a witch this season, and he came through this time.
I told you. So this last stop is Colonel Buck's cursed tomb in Bucksport, Maine.
That's a witch's leg.
It's a witch's leg.
I gotta tell you, she had a really, really long foot. She was a large woman. I mean, look at the size of the calf on that. She had some cankles. Colonel Buck's condemnation of a woman for witchcraft and ordering her death by burning for sorcery. As the sentence is being carried out, the woman curses the colonel and concludes with, "So long shall my curse be upon thee, and my sign upon thy tombstone."
Cool, huh? I remembered it from when I was a freshman. We came up here to go whitewater rafting and we stopped. We walked around and looked at it. They kept talking about how over the years they've tried to clean that off and it keeps coming back. It doesn't go away.
Creepy.
Yeah.
I thought she was joking. I was like, yeah, we'll get here. There will be like a little mark. There's a big honking leg on there.
This was just a snippet of the things that you can do in Maine.
Yeah, these 10 items are ones that we found easy to do during the pandemic. Number one, because they were open, but also because they were available to us in the routes we were going. But there is so much to do in Maine, and if you've been to Maine and have some recommendations, put some information down in the comments for us, because we'd love to check it out whenever we go back to the state and visit.
Yeah, because we go there pretty frequently.
We do. In fact, we're going to be there soon.
Yep.
Thank you for watching.
And make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when our next video is coming out.
Like next week,
Next Thursday.
when we explore more of New England.
Ooh. Hi.
Hi.
We're Susanna and Chris. Stop it. I like to do the hi.
That's your thing.
You want me to be cheerful? Hi.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
No, that's not. You gotta go
No.
with the hi. I
Thumbs up.
kinda,
You would think this is coffee.
Ah, man. So our next recommendation is another So
We've got you covered there too. We recommend that you go spend the day exploring the mailed what?
mailed. What about wildlife?
We've got you covered there too. We recommend that you spend a day exploring the mailed wildlife.
What is
Mailed?
What's the mailed wildlife?
Mailed wildlife?
But they're both named after the same guy,
They are, in fact.
who, interestingly enough, I can't remember how he died.
Thank you for watching. We'd love to share our journey with you, so hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you know when a new video is uploaded. And don't forget to leave your comments down below and hit the like button.